there are certain fighters in boxing, certain guys that have this quality about them where they can go anywhere, they can fight anywhere, they can compete in anybody's hometown, their opponent's hometown, they can, foreign countries they've never been to before, and it doesn't matter to them. There's certain guys that they can go anywhere and still perform to the best of their ability, no matter what. Guys that spring to mind are Sergey Kovalev. Sergey Kovalev, wherever he fights, he's going to be Sergey Kovalev. He's not going to be any different. It's not going to affect his performance in a negative way, being in his opponent's hometown. He doesn't care about the crowd. He doesn't care about none of that, right? He doesn't think about the politics, okay? He's there to get a job done. And it never affects his performance being on the road. Another guy is Gennady Golovkin. Gennady Golovkin can fight anywhere, okay? He can fight in Germany, he can fight in America, he can fight in Monaco, he can fight in Kazakhstan, he can fight in the UK, he can fight anywhere, right? It doesn't matter to him. He's willing to fight anybody. He's willing to travel because he has that mindset where he's in the ring to knock you out. He doesn't care where the fight is, he doesn't care about the referee, he doesn't care about the crowd, nothing. He's there to get a job done. And he's able to maintain composure anywhere. Well, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because there are certain other fighters out there who don't necessarily travel so well, or they do travel, but when they do, it tends to affect their performance in a negative way. And that point, to me, is pretty significant with this upcoming fight between Arthur Abraham and Gilberto Ramirez. For example, when he fought Froch, in that fight was in Finland, and he didn't have that many fans in the crowd. I think most of the fans were there to see Robert Helenius, and they left, and the ones that were left were mostly British. And to be honest, in that fight, Abraham looked really lethargic, unmotivated. He just didn't seem... There didn't seem to be any urgency from him. He did try to win early on, but I think as soon as he started getting hit with that jab, as soon as he took a few body punches, it was like he gave up and he just went in his shell. And he never really stepped on the gas. He never really got anything going for the rest of the fight. It was like he just allowed Froch to dictate. And I noticed that when he fought Andre Ward, early on in the fight, he came out really aggressive against Ward, and he let his hands go, and he actually did have Ward concerned a little bit. But I noticed midway through the fight, once the fight started to slip away from his grasp, he started to back away, and he started to, not really have any urgency. Like, he knew he was behind on points, but it was as if he just gave up. It was as if he was like, you know what, I can't be guy, I can't compete with this guy. I'm in his hometown, what's the point trying, But when he fights in Germany, you never see that kind of behaviour with Abraham. You never see him give up. You never see him look lethargic. He always looks happy. He looks comfortable. He looks composed. And he looks as if he's enjoying himself. I mean, you look at his fights against Paul Smith. He was smiling the whole fight. He was putting his hands down and still outboxing the guy. He never got tired once. He fought Martin Murray in his last fight. Martin Murray did at least as good a job as Froch, in my opinion. He was boxing well. He was going at the body. He was using his movement. But Abraham never lost heart. He kept trying. He kept boxing. He stayed composed. He stayed calm. He threw the punches he needed to throw when he needed to throw them. And there was no quit. There was no going into his shell and just giving up and looking sorry for himself. There was none of that. I just think in Germany, when the crowd's behind him, I think he's a different fighter, a different man. And that's one of the things that's concerning me about this fight, because he's going to be fighting in America. And Gilberto Ramirez, although he's Mexican, he's going to be probably the home fighter here. He's going to probably have more fans in the crowd. He's probably going to have more support. He's going to feel more at home because he fights in America usually. Well, he's fought in America several times before. So, he's going to he's going to feel okay. He's going to feel home. He's not going to feel like he's on the road and he has to really dominate to get a decision, or even if he does dominate, he's not going to get a decision. He's not going to feel that way. He's not going to feel like he's out of his comfort zone in any way. This is just another fight for him. This is just a world title shot. So I think that Ramirez in this fight, he's going to be very confident, and he's going to be very, very composed. He's going to know what he's doing. He's going to be well prepared. He's going to be comfortable. But Abraham, I'm not so sure.